I always feel that whenever the history of Indian cinema will be written, it will always have, before Dilip Kumar and after Dilip Kumar.
When I do my Google, then if somebody comes and it's bad manners.
We came to a conclusion that it would be nice if just Shah Rukh and me sat and talked about the film, about life, about anything that under the sun. I just love every new generation actor because I think that they all have excelled in whatever they do.
So, your producer was Shah Rukh Khan, and we've seen, I think, wonderful bantering going on between you two, and so how was the experience of promoting the film with him?
A lot of the things that we discussed during the marketing sittings, one of the things that came across was because the film is different, because it does not have the usual music and song and, can we design something which looks different also? We came to a conclusion that it would be nice if just Shah Rukh and me sat and talked about the film, about life, about anything that under the sun. I've always felt that there's very little documentation that the Indian film industry does. We don't have any documentation of sitting with an actor or a producer or a director or a music director or a cameraman and talk to them about how he went about doing this film. And one would like to know that. I would have loved to know what K. Asif thought when he was doing Mughal-e-Azam, or what Mehboob Saab thought when he was doing Mother India, and why he designed it like this. What does Dilip Saab say about his performance in Devdas? What went through the minds of Sachin Dev Burman and Rahul Dev Burman when they designed a particular kind of music? We'd have no documentation of that, and that would be so interesting. I just thought that maybe if two actors sat together and had a chat and talked about cinema and talked about their approach to the role, it would form good documentation. It's another matter that our banter with Shah Rukh and me went a little, different, but it was nice. I think it just gave it a different aspect of how to promote a film. We talked about the film, and I think very judiciously we put in elements of Badla and also part of our personal lives, and so hopefully, that seemed to have worked. I don't know. Did it work?
How do you rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 as an actor?
Very bad. 4 or 5.
No, please.
Yeah, seriously.
Be generous.
No, you asking me, you want to ask
Sorry,
the question to yourself.
So I'm a huge fan actually. 4 to 5 or something like that.
There's a lot to learn.
As a father.
Yeah, I hope, this really should come to the children, because we want to do the very best we can, and I feel that, I've done the best. But the actual gauge will come from the children.
As a grandfather?
I need to spend more time with my grandchildren. I know that 2 of them live out of the city. One is here. But, she's gradually having a life of her own, and we have our own commitments. But whenever I spend time with her, it's the best time of the day.
Okay, what is more important to you, sir? Critical acclaim or box office?
There has to be a very selfish look at this. So if I look at it very selfishly, I'll say, I hope I'm critically acclaimed, and I hope that I hit the box office as well. I think that's a dream kind of a project that every actor wants.
Right.
So I'm particularly pleased about, say, a film like Peaky, because we got a bit of both.
Right.
But there are times when, your criticism is very severe, yet your box office results show quite the opposite. I guess the box office ensures your next film, maybe not the next critical acclaim.
What? So somewhere is the box office?
Yeah.
If I have to ask you that, because I think your father's poetry has played a very big role in your career, in your life. You've always said the lines that man ka ho jaye to acha hai, na ho to aur bhi acha hai. But I think so many people they tend to talk about always. Do you feel that when you read his poetry now, maybe when you read it maybe say 20 years back, there's a different perspective the way you look at it, because the experience of life.
As a son, I will always be appreciative of that. As people who read his poetry and his works and his writing, whether it's his prose, whether it's his PhD on English literature from Cambridge, they will obviously find some kind. I feel that the quality of a poet is everlasting, and the poet's vision is a lot far-reaching than. Sometimes you find yourself in a situation which is very personal, and you have your personal emotions and thought processes going on at that point of time, and you read a poem. Or you begin to find elements in the poem which relate to your own personal condition, and that's gives it a different viewpoint. Someone else may read it with a different state of mind.
This is Meghani from Sri Lanka. Whom do you think are the best actor and actresses from the current generation, sir?
Oh, they're all very good. And don't ask me to name just a few because that would not be fair. I just love every new generation actor because I think that they're all have excelled in whatever they do and whatever I've seen of them. And I'm very envious of them because I was never able to do this. And even now I'm not able to do that. But they're able to do that in their very first appearance. And that is so creditable. How do they manage this? I am amazed. And which is why I keep praising them, and I'm just shocked at the way they perform. They get everything right in their very first appearance. It's unimaginable. So I love the entire younger generation, and I wish them all the very best.
Do you watch public opinions? Because and do you feel that when you see the way people are reacting, people who are purchasing the tickets out of their hard-earned money, do you find a new perspective once you watch their?
Most certainly, yes. We, during the time of the initial stages of hearing a concept, of going through the whole process of writing the script, of reading the script, of discussions, of actually being on set, how to move, what to do, after all that, it's all confined within, say, 30 or 40 people which are directly or indirectly involved with the film. But we do know that this whole concept is going to go out to thousands and lakhs of people.
Right.
And whether these 30, 40 people who've in their minds designed something for these lakhs of people going to work, that we'll only know on the Friday. That's when we expose this creativity, hopefully, we can call it creativity.
It is.
Out to the audience. And they are the ones that are going to react. So their reaction is most important. We can be working for years and years and feel that we've done the best and yes, this is it. And they could just dismiss it within an hour or so. So it's very important for them because they're the ones that are paying to come and see
Exactly.
what you have created. They're the ones that have taken their time out, made the effort to come to the theatre or wherever. And if they don't like it, then you failed.
Talking about department once again, the entire concept of all these 5-6 cameras, you're not totally comfortable in the beginning of it, were you?
You know, for 42 years of your life, you're used to a camera in front of you and lights and everything. And so you get acclimatized to that. And you know that this is who you're playing for. And suddenly it's not there. And it feels a bit odd. But I think eventually what really matters is that in a sense it gives you a lot of space to be a lot more freer, provided you're not aware of where the camera has been placed.
Do you think stardom is more important or great acting skills?
I don't know how to define stardom, but I think I can perhaps define acting skills. You see a performance, you see Dilip Kumar, you see some of the greats, you see Marlon Brando, you see Al Pacino, and you realize that these are great performances. You see Wahida Ji, the old, and some very fine performances of people here, whether it's Naseeruddin Shah or Irfan. You immediately relate to them because you cannot find an alternative way of having performed the way they have performed. And you appreciate that. So you like the acting. I don't know what stardom is, and I really don't know whether it's relevant to the question at all. I guess stardom is something that comes with a reflection towards the box office. You know, how you stand at the box office and what kind of receptions you get from the public and from outside and how they treat you. But obviously they have liked you, otherwise they wouldn't treat you the way they do. They've liked something about you. I'm not so sure whether they've actually liked your performance or just liked your style or just the way you are. But I will not be able to differentiate.
So what's your first response? The movie has had, I think, a 70%, 65 to 70% jump on day 2, which is always a very good sign as far as box office is concerned.
I'm really bad with numbers. I really don't know how box office works, what the numbers mean. I keep asking the producers and them. But if it's an indication that it's being appreciated, then I'm happy for the producer, I'm happy for the director, happy with the film.
Many people in the industry, in the Indian film industry, they would say that who is the best actor in the country ever? It has to be Amitabh Bachchan. But Amitabh Bachchan continues to be very, very self-effacing. Where does that come from, sir?
I don't believe that this is correct. I think that there are several artists who are extremely good and certainly much better than I am, and they deserve all the recognition and the credit and all the applause. I genuinely think that there are many areas that I need to work on and need to improve. I'm very grateful that people think like that, but I'm afraid that's not correct.
Best advice that has been ever given to you, or and maybe an idea that you feel has changed your life?
मन का हो तो अच्छा, ना हो ज़्यादा अच्छा.
Kya baat? Who do you think is the best actor ever in the Hindi film industry?
Well, to me, Dilip Saab,
Right.
Dilip Kumar, and I've never really looked beyond that because he's been my idol, and I've watched every one of his works, and I always feel that whenever the history of Indian cinema will be written, it'll always have, before Dilip Kumar and after Dilip Kumar. That's almost like a yardstick. He's been phenomenal. My greatest regret, though, was that one of his films, which I thought was his best work and most brilliant, was Ganga Jamuna.
Right. You did not get an
And he
award
never
for
got an award for that.
You said that as well before.
Many times.
Right.
Many a times, some of our artists, and sometimes you also feel that, you deserved to have got an award, but you didn't get it. And then you console yourself by this fact that, if Dilip Kumar couldn't get it for Ganga Jamuna, who the hell are you?
How much time do you spend on the internet?
In the morning I have to go to school, so my mother, she doesn't allow me to open the net. But Google?
Right, yeah.
Yeah? On Google everything I can know. What's your name?
My name is Faridoon.
Faridoon?
Yeah.
Okay, how do you spell it?
Faridoon.
Okay. I will go to Google and I will put your name in there, and when I will press the button, everything about you will come. So Google is very good. I go there very often.
And you say that one should not read other people's emails.
Yeah, it's very bad manners. So when I do my Google, then if somebody comes, then it's bad manners.